Cool. So thanks everybody for joining us for the second attempt at a Roundtable TV producers news show. We've got Aaron Berk right here. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. We got Matt Dinger. This is the way it looks on my screen anyway. Yeah. And of course, the infamous John C.
Hello.
Damiano, the Flash.
That's it.
AKA Wally West.
Hey all.
The Crimson Blur, the Sultan of Speed.
Yeah. So we actually tried doing one of these 2 weeks ago, and for some reason the audio didn't record, so we hope it works out this time. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's a very cool concept, I think, to get all the producers together on one screen at one time. I think we got 4 out of the 8 here, or 4 out of the 9. So that's pretty cool. We're going to try to do this once a week, once every 2 weeks, to bring you guys industry news, our commentary on it, and all of the important things that are happening within the Roundtable TV universe.
So, Aaron, Roundtable TV kind of came about, it's a brainchild of yours, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, I was, it kind of came organically. I was doing a lot of my own videos for a long time and getting a lot of good play from just doing it on my own feed. And then I started, I thought, well, I should start Aaron TV. And then I did that for like a week and then said, this is silly, I should just do Roundtable TV. So I contacted Rob and said, what do you think? And he was like, oh yeah. So that's where it started. And just kind of went from there.
That's the cool thing about Rob. You tell him about an idea, and if he really likes it, he's like, okay, yes, great, let's do it right now.
Right.
Sometimes it's literally like right now.
Right. Yeah, Rob and I are the same mold in that sense. We both have ideas and play on them very quickly. So,
I mean, that's an advantage, right? You don't want to send every single decision to a committee or a dead end or kind of like hide behind bureaucracy. You want somebody that can act, that can try new things out, that can actually move forward.
Yeah, that's the best part about Roundtable is the fact that, we as a community of dealers, come together and converse and come up with ideas and bounce things off of each other and just do it. And there's so many great points of view and great minds out there in the industry, and it's not getting held up in committee somewhere.
Exactly. It was so crazy. Like I remember the first week I talked to you and Rob, and you and I connected and we went back and forth and had that conversation on the phone, and then like 1 minute of hanging up, it was like, boom, admin. It's like, wow, okay. This guy moves fast. Yeah. I like this.
And it was just a good fit. Ryan and I have been doing our Rare Coin TV thing now. It's just over a year, and then when you guys brought us in to kind of help produce and create some additional content for Roundtable TV, we were excited. We are excited, and we hope to do a lot more.
Yeah, you guys have been great, and you guys are more polished than I am. So, so it's a nice combination, I think. You got the rocky, kind of crazy guy over here who says things off the cuff, and you guys are polished executive types.
And extremely good looking. Don't forget about
extremely. That. I mean,
really,
off the charts.
Really good looking.
What did I get myself into?
Dude, Matt, these guys are crazy. So Matt,
you got yourself into the Derek Zoolander School for Numismatics.
Now, what got you starting video on Roundtable TV?
Well, I have been doing a podcast for the last 10 years called The Coin Show. We have, last time I looked, it was about 7 million downloads over the last 10 years, over 150 episodes.
Yeah, thanks for taking that name first. We actually had to change our name because you were getting all the SEO off Google for it. We were originally called The Rare Coin Show, but then we found that you did The Coin Show, and so continue.
And when are you going to have us as guests on your podcast?
As soon as possible, of course.
Come on, man.
But yeah, so that's where we started, and this kind of felt natural, kind of making the transition from an audio style format to more of a video style interactive format. I think it should be. My goal is to just get information to people any way possible. So that's why.
Well, you clearly love coins, so we're grateful to be part of it and have you along with us. So.
Okay, so the whole concept for your podcast is getting information out there. I've seen you interview some numismatic famous people like Dave Bowers and some others. Is it just information? Is it educational, or do you try to go for entertainment also? What's kind of the strategy there?
The magic is kind of all of the above. We do a news segment where we talk about different news stories that are current. We used to do the educational segment until we kind of covered about everything we could cover, and then we do something called the coolest thing to walk into Matt's shop this week, where I take whatever the coolest thing was that just kind of organically walked in the door, and I talk about it. And we have listeners that write us questions that we address, and it's always good. It's fun. And
Matt just started a Patreon account, I believe, for the show. So if anybody's on here and they want to walk on over to Patreon and hook him up a little bit, he does all his work ad free, and
we
want to support that kind of thing.
Yep, that's exactly. We don't want to answer to anybody. We like to just do our own thing, and we like to be able to say what we want to say about who we want to say it about, and keep it ad-free is the best way to do that. So it's patreon.com// The Coin Show. If you even want to just throw a buck at me, it's cool. But
there you go. Yeah, every little bit helps, right?
Yep, for sure. And then the guy that I do the show with, it's kind of a fun dynamic. I've been a dealer, good Lord, coming on probably since I bought my first car with money I made selling coins at 17.
Nice.
Wow.
And I had a coin shop at 22, and I'll be 36 this year. So I've been doing this coming on 20 years. But the guy that I do the show with is just a collector. So we have that dynamic as I see all the dirty underbelly of the industry, and he's still kind of he has the bug still. So it makes for a good dynamic.
He's green, so he still likes all the little nooks and crannies of the industry.
He likes modern coins, and I hate modern coins. And so we have that dynamic going.
So many people love modern coins. I mean, I get into one here or there, like the Palladium Eagle is really cool, and the reverse proof Buffalo, the ultra high relief Saint, the fractional Buffaloes. There's been some that either had a limited strike or a cool design recently that I thought were kind of interesting, but they make so many releases every year.
Every year. That's
it's insane.
It's what destroyed the stamp market.
And that's one of the things that I actually worry about, but that's for a different time and place, I guess.
No, I
once you go on ancient, right? You never go back.
Well, that's true. I like ancients too. So.
Well, look, I mean, if you're a guy,
it's such a wide range of variety of material that you can always find something interesting. You got 2,000 years of production. You can find a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beauty of this business. For me, I've been doing this for 27 years.
Say hi.
And there's always something new. Always something new.
There's Caitlin and the baby.
Oh.
Baby Finn. He's only 2 months old. Well, almost 3. Anyways, yeah, so I think that's something to really talk about is the U.S. Mint production numbers, especially when you look at the Apollo series, that there could be a potential mintage of upwards of a couple million coins when you add up all the gold, 5-ounce, proof, mint state, clad. I mean, it's just astronomical. And the sales have not tapped even a fraction of what they could potentially so far.
That's one of the things that I address a lot on our show is, and Aaron's exactly right, it's what killed stamps, because there's so many different coins, there's so many different finishes to the same coins that they pump out every single year, and it's just further diluting the coins themselves and the customers, a guy's not going to want to purchase 5 different sets of national parks quarters that have different finishes, so that's kind of what I think, is detrimental to the hobby about the
And they're like proof sets. When they first come out, there's a huge premium on them, and then give it about 10 years and they're worth nothing.
Oh, I tell people in the office all the time, I say, they say, oh, I'm thinking about buying this. And I'm like, look, wait 6 months. I will get one in the door, and it will probably be cheaper than what you could have got at demand.
Yep.
Yeah. And like a 69 or 70 holder, it'll probably be cheaper than what you could have bought. Right, yeah.
So you buy a new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it's less than you paid for it. So.
Yep. That's exactly right. People don't understand when you can buy proof sets from the 70s for a fraction of what the new ones cost.
Right. But I always do tell people, I say, you know what, if you're buying it to stick away as an investment, don't do it. But if you're buying it because you like it, go ahead and buy it. I mean, collect what you like, but just go into that understanding that item's not going to hold its worth.
Well, we should really stress at this point, I do the same thing. Any client that comes into my place and they say, is this a good investment? I tell them, even if they're buying bullion, I tell them, we don't sell investments. We're not wearing a suit and tie. We're not forecasting what the market's going to do, and no one has a crystal ball to know what it's going to do. So if somebody is selling that this is going to go up in price or this is a good investment, they're probably ripping you off. So I said, buy from a dealer that's legit, that is going to give you pricing comps if it's something that's numismatic, and that it's going to stand behind what they're selling. As soon as that word investment comes out, run.
Yep.
Well, yeah, to me, investment means something that creates a return,
right.
Like a business or a bond or, a stock that pays dividends or something.
Right.
Coins are an asset. They are a store of wealth,
right.
but it's not necessarily something that you try to create income by owning.
No, not at all. I mean, no one can dictate what the market's going to do and what the auction houses are going to be doing and how things are going to be selling and what the slabbing companies, how they're going to change their standards from here to there and what's going to be selling next week. I can't even do it. Even ancient coins is a smaller market than U.S., right? So, U.S. coins is probably a $500 billion market when you factor in all the bullion and everything else, and ancient coins is like about an $85 million market, really small.
That's going to change that.
But you can get 2 or 3 people to change the value on Greek coins in a single year. Just from going to the major auctions. There's one guy right now, I can tell you, there's a billionaire in South America who's buying up all the pedigreed ancient coins in Greek, in the Greek value. And he's not overpaying.
And just real quick, Aaron, when
Yeah.
you're talking about pedigree, this is something we touched on a little bit last time.
Yeah.
You're talking about coins that you can actually trace the lineage back to prior to when certain laws were made that enable you to legally own it.
Yeah, the UNESCO treaty, which was done in 1971 and came effect they effect the date in 1970. So anything 1970 before for ancient coins or antiquities can be bought and traded by museums. So a lot of collectors like pre-1970 material for that reason, and the retail price on ancient coins can be double or triple the price. Antiquities I've sold as high as 4 times the regular price based on a pre-1970 pedigree.
And I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because like Matt and John, I've been a coin dealer for a long time, 15 years for myself. Everybody else here is over 10. And so I didn't even realize pedigree was so important in ancients.
Yeah.
In US, it's a completely different story. You might get a premium for an Elias.
There's no legality issues on United States coins for the most part.
I mean, people will pay a little bit more if it's an Eliasberg coin or an SS Central America coin, but that's a lot different than changing the legality of ownership.
As far as legality, the only exception is probably the 33 Saint, as far as one that really causes any immediate legal issues.
Right. But of course, the one that sold in auction, they made a lot of money on.
So I think what you're talking about is something that's important to get ahead of. You're actually saying that there's a South American investor, collector, whatever he is, that is buying up a particular kind of Greek pedigree coin?
Yeah, he's buying all Greek ancient coins, and mostly just an auction, because as like every other market, every great coin is going to auction, not in private hands necessarily. And so, I actually had, for instance, I was bidding against him on a coin for a client. I had a bid to $200,000. The coin was maybe worth $175, but we stretched for it, and he paid $225, and he would have kept going. So it's just, you're not going to beat him out. And I was told he's probably going to spend about $1 billion in the next 3 years. So on coins.
There's a competitor along the same lines of the guy that's building the Tyrant collection, and that guy's from California. So it'll be interesting, because those guys are going to be going after some of the same types of coins. And when two billionaires go after things that they really like,
right,
there can be some extreme price records set.
Well, what happens is the market starts to switch a little bit. Like everything goes in cycles. So I think I mentioned to you guys before, the Sheikh of Qatar was buying for a while. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and he was blowing everybody out of the water. And there was actually 3 billionaires that were going after all the coins, and he was outbidding them, and paying, like if a coin was worth 10,000, he'd pay 50,000. It was just crazy. And so what happened is all the regular collectors started to move away from Greek and started moving into other areas. And so Republican and Roman got really hot for a while. And then he passed away, and now everybody moved back into Greek. So Greek's strong again, and Roman's a little bit weaker again.
And then you have that horde of the tetradrams that got found in really high quality, and that's also stimulating the market from what I can see, especially towards the mid-state quality coins.
Well, we don't know if it's a hoard or not. We have to say that it's a collection, because nobody really knows for 100%. But there's a big group that has come on the market of different coins. The biggest problem is you have to be careful is that they're making a lot of fakes as well. Like I heard about a hoard of 2,000 Byzantine gold coins that was coming out, and then I heard yesterday that they were all fake.
Ooh, rough.
So, and supposedly they weren't even good fakes. So, but the fact is that they're attempting to do it, and there was a horde of specific coins that have come out that are all fake. So I think that you just have to be really careful, and typically, we don't necessarily go overseas and buy those things, because you don't know if it's an illicit hoard or not. Even if you buy in legal territories and you do all the right things, no one's going to tell you the truth anyway. So it's easier. It's always best to buy old collections, and that's the best thing that we can do. But it's hard for dealers like us, because all the best collections are going to auction. And if you don't have a great auction house, then you're not going to get those coins. So it's really tough these days.
There needs to be some ancient expert that just steps out and starts slabbing coins. You know what I mean?
I'm working.
Maybe one day. I don't know.
I'm working.
I guess we'll see.
If only.
No, I think there's a happy median that a happy place that we can get to with that, because I've got a lot of my clients won't touch a slab with the 20-foot pole, and I'm the same way. I like to handle the coins, because every time I handle one, I learn. And so the more I learn, the better a numismatist I become. So if you're always looking through plastic and you're relying on one or two guys to make their opinion, that's not really learning ancient coins. That's just going off what they say. And they make mistakes like everybody else. They're human,
Dude, I am so hooked on plastic. I want to start buying ancient coins, but I just can't do it.
Well, you got to buy from me. So
I guess that's the answer.
If you buy from anybody who's legit, who stands behind their product and has a good reputation, we dealers like to in the ancient field, we don't want anything coming back, and our reputations mean a lot. So we try to vet these things as much as we possibly can before we take it to market. And we make mistakes like everybody else, but our mistakes are very few. And so that's the key of any great dealer is how do they react in terrible situations, right?
Right.
So if you've had situations that come up where you have to give back money or you have to do the right thing and you do it, that makes you a great dealer. Anybody can sell and do great at selling at high levels, but until that problem comes up and they react in the proper way that they're supposed to as a legit and respectable dealer, then they're not a great dealer.
I see a lot of, and that's a really good point. I see a lot of coins coming on the screen, and I feel like I'm being led to talk about the Great American Coin Hunt right now. I think that's why these coins are coming on the screen.
Possible.
It might be, maybe.
I mean, we're getting really close, guys. Isn't it the first week of April for a major announcement?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
something that definitely. Yeah, see, I got some too. My light sucks in here, but
I don't know.
My coins are like 20 feet away, and I don't. Well, all mine are in plastic,
But
anyways.
yeah,
besides-
Ryan and I are planning on going out and putting some silver stake orders into circulation, some Wheaties, some Buffalo Nickels. We're gonna have a little fun.
I think I'm actually gonna buy some coins to do that with.
I think I have set back about 3,500 coins right now at the office.
Nice.
Dude,
Buffalo nickels, some silver dimes, wheat pennies.
where's your
All
office,
right.
Matt?
In Indianapolis.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Now, are you on the GreatAmericanCoinHunt.com? Have you dropped a few pins yet?
Oh yeah, sure. I've got a couple places that I plan on dropping some stuff, and
All
be fun.
right. All right.
John and I think we're gonna go roll out and do that today, right?
Yeah, we may head down the street and go buy a cup of coffee somewhere and drop off a few coins. We'll see.
Maybe hit the
I'll be
grocery
like-
store.
I'll be like, hey, wait, what is this?
I know, huh?
I'm kind of waiting for. I'm thinking I might start targeting like the little tip cups and jars, and buy something, and then just sprinkle a few in there as I go.
I like
Yeah.
Rob's idea. He said when he's out at a restaurant, he'll offer a tip in either a rare coin or cash. It'll be like, I don't know.
Take your choice.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what they choose because
It's gonna be cash.
They'll take cash.
I don't think, right?
Yeah, they're gonna think you're trying to hose them.
Bamboozle.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
oh, you have some magic beans that you want to give me instead of money, huh? Yeah, sounds great.
Can those magic beans pay my rent?
Right. Where do I go sell this? Well, my store's down the street.
Right.
Yeah. Sure it is.
Right. Yeah. Aaron, what are you doing for Great American Coin Hunt?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my plan is to put little bags in my next catalog mailing with the concept and have collectors that receive the catalog actually disperse the coins in their area.
Very cool.
Ooh, that's fancy. That's some high marketing right there, buddy.
I think that counts as coin trafficking.
It's possible.
That's
Well, I just figure it's, we, besides us just putting, this whole concept is about really bringing new collectors into the fold. And part of that is getting the existing customer base or collector base to help out. And so not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody watches our feeds, even though they should be watching our feeds. But so I think the best way to reach them is any way we can. So if that means sending something in the mail where I have the ability where I'm already doing it, so it's not going to cost me extra to add in, for postage, I have the ability to do that. For someone else, it might be about, putting in a tip jar or spending it in some way. But ultimately, in the end, it's just about bringing new collectors into the fold and bringing awareness to collecting.
Is it gonna mess up the screen record if you keep jumping around or no?
Oh, it just killed my Skype.
Oh, no way.
Jeez.
Matt, you're still recording, right? It still says John's recording on here.
I'm not recording.
Okay. Well, let's hope.
What'd you do, John?
Oh, there he's back.
Yeah.
I've never seen all you guys. I only see Matt. So,
He was like bidding on something on eBay or something.
No,
What?
there was a Great American Coin kit that was put up on eBay for $50, and I was just trying to pull up the details so I can talk about it on screen. So yeah, there's
That's
like
funny.
a kit that Rob put up there on eBay. So
That's really cool, dude.
that's kind of neat.
Huh.
Huh.
Well, hopefully it made it. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it's so important.
Technology.
Yeah, so for Great American Coin Hunt, Don Perlman had a really cool idea. And if you guys go on, anybody that's a CDHCD member, I don't know where else Rob posted, but Don Perlman is offering a press kit template for any dealers that are participating. And this is something you can fill out and just directly send to all your local news stations
Yep.
to and possibly get some press involved in what we're doing. And I think the more people to know, the better this is going to go for everybody. So if you're a dealer and you're watching this, I'd recommend doing that.
Yeah, and if you're a dealer or a collector watching this, get involved. You know, I mean, this is our hobby, and if you wanted to survive past you have to
Yeah,
take your
how old
part.
are you? Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, I mean, look, some of the older guys don't care because they're at the end of their collecting or their dealing days. And but you know, I think that it takes a village, and that's the thing I love about Roundtable is that it's not just one person; it's all of us collectively that are doing this. We all have some cool ideas, but ultimately none of it works unless we all get involved. So that's you know, this is just another part of this. You know, this concept of the Great American Coin Hunt has been going on for a long time. There's always been guys that have put stuff in change, done things. Tom Delory, who used to work for me, used to go to. So Tom, if you're watching, you'll probably remember this, of course, since it's you. But he used to go to restaurants and he would take full sheets of, I think, $5s or $2 bills and cut them up while he was paying his bill.
Oh, nice.
About 8 or 9 years ago, and we were at the Long Beach Coin Show, and the owner of the company had a raw SVDB and a VDB, a 1909 Lincoln cents. And we went across the street, and we were at the Islands restaurant, and he spent them there. He put them into circulation at the Islands across from the Long Beach Coin Show. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
It's very
cool. Yeah.
You know, it's so different. You know, if I give out a pile of ancient coins to a bunch of kids, you know, it's not something I can put into circulation, but I can hand it to a child and hopefully change their life. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. Maybe they end up being a collector, but they'll definitely hold on to that for for a long time, I would assume. And I've had some kids come back years later, and especially to my dad, who's been in business for 57 years, and you know, and they say, you know, I bought my first coin from you, or you gave me a coin when I was 12, you know, and it started a passion for me. And so, you know, that's all we're trying to do is plant seeds.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So I think we're at a point. I did want to talk about U.S. mint sales and stuff, but we'll probably get to that next time.
Okay.
Just because I think we're probably at around half an hour or something. Huh, John?
Yeah, I got to get my kids out.
There we go. So
They're jumping
thanks
around.
everybody for joining. We're glad to have Matt here for the first time in the group format.
And Hallie is here.
Huh?
And Hallie is here.
What's up, Hallie?
Hey, Hallie.
Say hi to everybody.
Hallie.
There we go. So thanks for joining us for the
We love our
first.
children.
We do love our children. Yeah.
She said, "Get off me," and pushed me away.
Mine's not old enough to say that yet. Thank goodness.
Oh, they will.
But
They
yeah,
will.
thanks for everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
Super cool to have you here. We're going to try to do this a little bit more often. And if you guys have any topics you want to see, go ahead and hit us up on Roundtable TV on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We're always open to topics that you want to see us discuss here. And so go ahead and do that. And of course, make sure you're following us on all those platforms. All right,
guys.
we'll see you guys next time. All right.
See you guys. Take care.
I'm Matt.
See you.
Aaron.